Hello and welcome to Moonshot Nutrition. My name's Addison. Tonight I want to talk to you about ways you can use to choose the right exercise for you. So let's just jump right in to the first thing everybody should focus on, which is my favorite exercise is the one you'll do. That is nothing new, but it is one that people often forget. Somebody gets into their head that you need to be doing CrossFit. You gotta be doing a spinning class. You gotta be doing yoga. Whatever the latest, greatest fad is of the day. And forgive me for calling some of those things fads, but with respect to overall exercise, it has an aspect of fad because people are claiming you have to do that to be healthy. No, you don't. What you need to do is move your body in healthy ways as often as you can. You don't want to sit down much more than about 6 hours a day, according to Kelly Starrett and others who have done a really good job researching this. Okay, what you want to do is try to find healthy movements. When you hear exercise, you need to think first and foremost, healthy movement that you're willing to do as often as you can and that you will sustainably continue to do in the foreseeable future. That is a healthy exercise. But if it turns out there's multiple things you're willing to do and you want a little help tweaking it towards better health outcomes, here's a few things to remember. Number one, if you insist on using exercise to improve weight loss, then you should think about doing more strength training than anything else and keeping cardio to once or twice a week. Cardio is not the number one fat burning tool. Larger muscles are. Sorry, that's just how biology works. Another thing you should consider doing is focus on areas that are just horrible first. So if you have like no cardio capacity, that is to say you go to walk up a flight of stairs and you are winded, then before you start doing weight training, maybe do some sort of what is called HIIT training, high intensity interval training. Do some kind of simple, relatively short, shouldn't take much more than 20 minutes once or twice a week, and I'm dead serious about that. Focus on maybe doing a little cardio so that you have some cardio capacity to simply do things, okay? Strength training should also be on your radar if you're particularly weak. All right, if getting out of a chair is really hard, not because you have a joint problem, but because you have a strength problem, then you need to do something to increase the strength in your body. It doesn't have to be barbells and a gym membership. You can actually find all kinds of videos on YouTube and all over the place that you can get stronger right in the comfort of your own home. But you need to do some kind of strength training if simply living your life is too difficult relative to the amount of strength that is required. This is also very helpful for those of us that are trying to keep up with children, by the way. It's nice to have a little bit of extra strength because they are always going to be asking you to do things that are much harder than they realize. Lastly, and not necessarily lastly, but rather just to throw one more cog into the wheel to consider, is mobility. And again, check out Kelly Starrett to show you what healthy ranges of mobility are versus where we are. I promise you, the healthier your range of mobility is, the easier it is to maintain strength and endurance. All right? Mobility is one of the most underappreciated aspects of health and exercise going. People just don't care, and they don't care at their own peril. I'm telling you, when you get old, and we will get old, when we get old, before your strength goes, your mobility usually goes. And when your mobility goes, then your strength goes because you can't actually use the range of motion and therefore keep your muscles properly conditioned, okay? So this is why you see people bending over in all of those weird ways and why they can't get off the ground. It's not necessarily because they don't have the capacity for strength to do it. It's that their body doesn't move in a way that will allow them to get into those positions, to easily stand back up, to easily bend over and pick something up, to be able to stand with their legs outright facing forward at a 90-degree angle, right? People lose these capacities because of their inability to have healthy movement, healthy range of motion. So again, take everything I just gave you for a grain of salt. And don't jump to these strength training cardio things if you hate doing them. Start with what you'll do. Start with what you enjoy. And then find a way to work those other things into it to maximize your health outcomes from the exercise you do. And if one last thing to remember is you don't need a ton of this. 1 hour a week worth of strength training and 20 minutes a week worth of cardio is all you actually need for targeted exercise to increase overall health. I promise you, you don't need that much unless you want higher athletic goals than just good health. As always, this is Addison for Moonshot Nutrition. I hope this helps. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, if you learned something today, spread it to the people you care about. Make the world a better place. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.